Hello there, Crazy and Blind Jake here with another affordable weapon review. I'm Crazy Blind Jake and I love weapons, so let's jump on into this. So today we're going to have a very interesting weapon based on an illustration in a manuscript called the Opera Nova. Hence, this is the Opera Nova Cut and Thrust Sword by deepeeka. I love the way this sword looks, hate how it handles. deepeeka took a masterpiece of a design and crapped on it. That being said, not all bad. So let's go over it, shall we? Of course, came with your standard scabbard that had leather on it, and shiny metal, and more shiny metal. But very nicely done. Nice scabbard. Not bad, deepeeka. So now that's out of the way. Let's get to the good part, the juicy part, the pointy part, the sharp part, the sword. So, we'll start at the pommel. The pommel in itself is a weapon. It is a diamond-shaped spike. Great for smashing skulls. Love it. Practical and beautiful. The grip is wire-wrapped, which looks very nice. But this is where deepeeka's first strike comes in. It's too round. You can't get any good edge alignment. Bad. Bad, deepeeka. You could do better. Well, maybe you can't. But it looks nice. And does allow for decent grip. Next thing that I love about this is the guard altogether. The guard on either side is a four-sided diamond-shaped spike, essentially. So not only does it look awesome and matches the pommel, but it's actually kind of sharp-ish. So you not only could use it in close quarters for punching somebody in the face and probably taking an eye out, but you can also do the good old murder stroke. You have yourself essentially a back to Corbin. Or something similar. For piercing armor and doing very nasty things with the guard. I love the fact that the guard itself is actually designed to be a weapon. And the pommel too. I love that. It also has... Come on, focus. I maybe should have picked a different color background. It also has this piece of leather here on the ricasso to protect the metal. Because this part doesn't need to be sharpened. Because it has these really nice finger ring holder thingy-mabot. They're finger guards, guys. That's what they are. Very, very cool. I like the fact that it's on both sides of the blade, so you could use the sword ambidextrously, because there's no fancy crap in the way. So you can finger the guard very well. You all have to remember, getting good at fingering is important. Very important to get good at fingering the guard of your sword. What do you guys think I was talking about? Anyway, so I will say that on this top edge and the underneath side, not the outside edge, but on the top side and underneath side, it's a little bit sharp, so I'd be a little bit leery of that. But if you're wearing like gloves or something, I wouldn't worry about it at all. But it looks beautiful. And is very functional. I love the fact that the whole hilt construction is meant to destroy things while looking gorgeous. Reminds me of a girlfriend I once had. Anyway. Did a nice job. Job. They did a nice job on the guard and the pommel. Bad job on the shape of the grip, but I like the wire wrap. The blade isn't sharpened all the way down to the finger guards, or the finger rings, whatever you want to call them, finger rings. That almost sounds like a stupid statement. It doesn't come all the way down to these here rings. I know there's a better name for them, but my brain is fried today. But you could sharpen it all the way down there, but it's kind of pointless, but not too much further up, and starts getting very sharp very quickly. I did pay to have this sword sharpened. This is supposed to come unsharpened. They did an okay job. Actually, they did a pretty good job. The quality of the steel is something probably comparable to EN45. Maybe 1055, something like that. But it's probably going to be a softer carbon steel. They say high carbon steel. I kind of consider that more of like a medium carbon steel. Or it probably is more of a medium carbon steel. But the blade's, you know, decent steel. Decently sharp. But here's the nail in the coffin for this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful sword. It handles like a tank. And not in a good way. For it being essentially a side sword, a cut and thrust sword, which was supposed to be, you know, meant for fencing, you know, alongside swords that are similar to the rapier and what have you. The blade's too heavy. It's not nimble. I mean, it's light. Like, the sword overall is light, but the way they have it balanced is awful. The weight should be a lot more in the hilt. Way more in the hilt. I mean, you would think with it being lots of sharp pointy metal to smash people's faces in with, that it would have a really heavy hilt. No, the blade is long and heavy. They did not do a good job balancing this sword at all. It makes me very sad, because I love the design of the sword. Please, please, sword gods, have a good company remake this sword. But, anywho, I will say for the money, it's a really nice sword to have in your collection, at the very least as a conversation piece. I wouldn't recommend using it because it's terribly off balance, but you could make it work. Or at least I feel like it's off balance. I feel like the blade's way too heavy for what it's supposed to be. I just feel like, you know, you're swinging around a really heavy club instead of a sword. It's supposed to be a cut and thrust sword. Not like a gigantic two-handed greatsword. I mean, I'm over-embellishing a little bit, but really I think the balance is terrible. But that seems to be a very big flaw of deepeeka. I will say overall, I will give this sword 3.5 out of 5, simply because of the beautiful design, and that I haven't really seen another one like it. So good job on that, deepeeka. Good job aesthetically. Please go back to the drawing board and make your swords more functional. So again, the deepeeka Opera Nova Cut and Thrust Sword. 3.5 out of 5 stars. Thank you. Have a great day or night or whatever it is you're having. And have a wonderful, wonderful time out there in the world of this wonderful pandemic we're dealing with still. But really, seriously though, be safe. Don't hurt yourselves. Don't hurt others unless you have to. And try not to. And be nice to each other. And have a lovely time.